Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Chris. This is going to be a two-parter because it's short. This is Camels Are Crazy. This is requested. Funny camel video compilation. And then the next video will be The Mysterious Lost Kingdom of Saba. I used to have a German Shepherd named, well, we called him Saba. I used to have a German Shepherd named Saba. Really good dog. How old was he? He was 8. He died of some kind of cancer. He died in 2000, August of 2000. So it was a while ago. Okay. So before we get started, if you can hit the thumbs up, subscribe, hype, thanks. They're all optional. I just ask for thumbs up. All right. I've got some hot tea. And I've also got, that's green tea and black tea. And I've got green tea. It's cold. Because I'm in that mood. All right, let's do it.
Two of the dogs are in isolation at Hanover Animal Control. They're still looking for the other two. Meanwhile, other livestock owners...
I just realized the pyramids were right behind there. I was like, that's a very weird structure. It kind of goes up like this. Those are the pyramids, stupid. I was going to say, don't tease it. I hope it takes your hand. guy's holding on for dear life.
روح كده عكس جر معي جر اسحب من هنا جر القلب انقلع
Is that common? See it laying on the ground like that? It can't go anywhere because of its head? Okay.
صمون جبل
Do they normally eat cactus? Oh, I'm just thinking of what it would be like if I put a cactus chunk in my mouth. Oh, the roof of your mouth is destroyed instantly. I have never in my life been around a camel, so I would be doing the exact same thing this guy's doing. He's trying to eat me. I'd be screaming murder. Maybe even rape. I don't know what I would yell. They made it up, okay? These are the first people that I haven't seen fall off of it. So they're up. So it's smooth sailing from here on out.
Buddy. So you're right.
So the real question I want to ask that camel afterwards on a just personal level, on a blind taste test, did you just drink a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi? I just want to know if it knows from a blind taste test. People need to know this stuff. That's littering. Pick that up and throw it away. That was funny. Let me get back to the... so that I know. Okay, this one also requested the mysterious lost kingdom of Saba. Okay. Is this Saudi Arabia here? I have no idea. I have no idea. Let's find out.
The kingdom of Saba was an ancient civilization in the southern part of the Arabian Peninsula in present-day Yemen. It is renowned for its wealth, incense trade, and for being mentioned in religious texts like the Bible, the Quran, and ancient Ethiopian records. The kingdom of Saba rose around the 12th century BC, prospering in southern Arabia due to a strategic position on the Middle East Red Sea route. The region was abundant in natural resources, especially frankincense and myrrh, highly valued in the ancient world for both religious and medicinal purposes.
Can I say something stupid? I've heard frankincense and myrrh so many times that when people say it, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I couldn't tell you what it is. I couldn't even tell you what it looked like. I don't even know if I know how to spell it to know what it looks like. So there you go. But let's keep that between us.
The Sabaeans, as the older inhabitants of the kingdom of Saba are known, developed advanced agricultural methods, including the use of complex irrigation systems, such as the famous Marib Dam. This reservoir supplied water to the dry lands and was essential to the kingdom's prosperity. Saba was ruled by kings and queens, bearing titles such as Mukarib, which meant both king and priest. The rule was theocratic, blending political religious authority. Sabaean society was divided into clans and tribes with a well-defined hierarchical structure. It had a ruling elite, wealthy merchants, and workers who tilled the land and looked after the caravans. The kingdom of Saba developed into one of the most important long-distance trade centers. Saba's frankincense and myrrh were prized by the Egyptians, used in religious rituals, mummifications, and ceremonies to worship the gods. Sabaean caravans often took their products to the Red Sea coast, where they were shipped to Egypt. Sabaean ports, like those on the coast of present-day Yemen, provided a direct connection to Egyptian cities, like Thebes and Alexandria. Egyptian accounts speak of trade with lands to the south, which included Saba, referring to the region as the land of Punt. Assyrian entries mention tributes from Arabs, including Sabaean products such as spices, gold, and incense. Known for its intricate religious practices, Babylon consumed vast quantities of incense in its temples, supplied by trade with the Sabaeans. Their caravans crossed the Arabian desert, passing through major oases such as Dedan, connecting Saba to the Mesopotamian city-states. Saba enjoyed a dynamic trade with India, swapping incense and myrrh for spices, fine fabrics, precious stones, and ivory. Sabaean navigators mastered the Indian Ocean routes, using the monsoon winds to cross the Indian coast. Indian products and concepts, such as printed fabrics and religious influences, reached the Arabian Peninsula because of these commercial exchanges. Saba established close relations with the kingdom of Aksum in today's northern Ethiopia and Eritrea. This was made easier by their geographical proximity, separated by the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. Products traded include gold, exotic animals, and African ivory in exchange for incense, fabrics, and Sabaean metals. Sabaean architecture influenced Aksum buildings, and the two cultures shared religious and linguistic practices. The legend of the Queen of Sheba also hints at a symbolic and political connection between both kingdoms. The legend of the Queen of Sheba ranks among the most fascinating stories about antiquity, mixing mythology, religion, and politics. This eerie figure...
I've heard the Queen of Sheba before. And I used to, my aunt used to have a dog that they named Sheba. So there you go.
Known as Makeda in Ethiopian tradition and Bilqis in the Quran, is quoted in biblical, Islamic, and Ethiopian texts, with regional adaptations that embellish her narrative. The legend opens with King Solomon, the wise and powerful monarch of Israel, whose reputation as a righteous ruler and holder of great wisdom spread to all known lands. The Queen of Sheba heard about Solomon from merchants who praised his divine wisdom and unrivaled wealth. She became curious and skeptical, but decided to visit him. Some reports say that she wished to challenge Solomon with riddles to test his wisdom, whereas others suggest that she was looking to establish a business alliance or obtain political and spiritual advice. The journey of the Queen of Sheba to Jerusalem is depicted as monumental. She arranged a large caravan loaded with sumptuous gifts, including gold, rare spices, precious stones, and incense. This demonstration of power and wealth was not only a diplomatic gesture, but also an affirmation of her position as ruler of one of the most prosperous kingdoms in the world. The journey was challenging and lengthy, passing through deserts and mountains, but finally the queen arrived at Solomon's palace. Upon her arrival, the Queen of Sheba was welcomed with great honor. Solomon's palace was splendid, with polished glass floors reflecting light like water. In one well-known story, when the queen entered the palace, she mistook the floor for a lake and raised her robe, revealing her ankles. This represented her admiration for the king's power and ingenuity. While she was there, she tested Solomon with difficult enigmas and questions. Solomon answered them all with clarity, deeply impressing the queen, according to the Bible. In the Quran, it is said that Solomon resorted to divine magic to impress her. In Ethiopian tradition, she described in the sacred text Kebra Nagast the relation between Solomon and the Queen of Sheba extended beyond diplomacy. After several intellectual discussions, Solomon was captivated by the queen's intelligence and beauty. This version suggests that they spent a night together before his departure. Makeda later discovers that she is pregnant, and, returning to her kingdom, she gives birth to a son called Menelik I. Once Menelik grew up, he traveled to Jerusalem to meet his father. Solomon welcomed him with joy, and, according to legend, sent him back to Saba with the Ark of the Covenant, which was allegedly taken to Aksum in Ethiopia. This event is essential in Ethiopian tradition, as Menelik is considered the founder of the Solomonic dynasty, which would rule Ethiopia for centuries. While the historicity of the Queen of Sheba is debated, the story reflects the commercial and cultural relations between Sheba and the Near Eastern kingdoms. The Sabaeans were polytheists, worshipping divinities such as the moon and fertility god Amakwa, the war deity Athar, and the sun goddess Shams, who symbolized light and justice. Their temples were worship places and administrative facilities. The Sabaeans were also known for their architectural monumentality. For example, the Temple of the Almakwa was a particularly important religious and political center. The Sabaean script, founded on a Semitic alphabet, served to document political, economic, and religious events in massive inscriptions, many of which have been found in archaeological ruins. The collapse of Saba began towards the end of the first millennium BC. This was brought about by factors such as the changing trade routes, which favored the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf, and the deterioration of the irrigation system. By the 6th century of the Common Era, the destruction of the dam, brought by negligence and possible natural disasters, dealt a fatal blow to Saba's agricultural economy. The Himyar Kingdom, a neighboring state, eventually absorbed Saba around the 3rd century CE, marking the end of the kingdom's independence. While the kingdom of Saba had disappeared, its influence lingers on in several cultures and traditions. In present-day Yemen, many of the Marib ruins and other archaeological sites are still being excavated. Its wealth and sophistication continue to inspire scholars and fuel legends in the popular imagination.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, Queen of Sheba, King Solomon, obviously I've heard of. Using divine magic. Probably not good, right? I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Okay. Well, this is a twofer. A 2-for-1, and I hope you enjoyed. So, I did. Until next time. By the way, you're clearly around camels more than I am. Are they mean? They look mean. I don't know if honestly, I really don't know if I've ever seen a camel in my life. I'm sure I have. Maybe at a zoo, but I've never been near one. They don't look, I don't know. Something about them. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. All right, we're going to end this here. Hope you enjoyed. Till next time, have a good day. Have a good night.